Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. INEOS put Antony on the firing line despite Erik Hag's support. Erik Hag is described as being on a major collision course with the INEOS Sport team over the long-term future of Antony at Manchester United. Steve Bates of GiveMeSport reveals the new executive structure at Old Trafford, who gained full control over the football operation following Sir Jim Ratcliffe's ratification as a new co-owner of the club, will adopt a more ruthless approach to underperforming players than the previous regime. Omar Berrada signed from local rivals Manchester City to be United's new chief executive, believes the players have 1 to 2 years to prove themselves or else they should be shipped on. Previously, underperforming players had been allowed to remain at Old Trafford in the naive hope of improvement. Fabrizio Romano reveals this stagnant approach won't happen with the new board, spearheaded by Berrada. And if there was one player who embodies underperformance relative to their initial transfer fee, it's Antony. The Brazilian winger was signed from Ajax in the same summer. Tanak relocated to Manchester from Amsterdam. Despite internal scouting reports valuing Antony at around £25 million, United officials, in a panic, sanctioned an £86 million move for the winger in the final weeks of the transfer window. What has followed has been a series of displays which demonstrated the scouting team were being generous in their assessment. Antony hardly resembles a Premier League level player, let alone one of the most expensive purchases in the league's history. He is physically incapable of succeeding in English football, nor possesses the productivity to justify his weak and slow style. While Hag often played Antony last season, regardless of the quality of his performances, even the Dutchman has seen since this year, dropping the Brazilian in place of Alejandro Garnacho. As he approaches the end of his second year at Old Trafford, Bates contends the new executive structure have already placed Antony in the firing line this summer. Reports suggest the club would be willing to accept as little as half the fee they paid Ajax for his services 2 years ago. However, Bates reveals Hag will resist attempt to offload the winger this summer, even on loan. Erik Hag says INEOS will not buy players he does not want. Erik Hag says he will have the right to veto the signing of players by new part owners of Manchester United, INEOS. Speaking at the pre-match press conference ahead of today's Premier League tie with Fulham, Hag confirmed, "I have held talks with them about it. They will not bring in players who manager doesn't want. That will not work. We will work together with suggestions, bringing players in and discussing. Then it's about picking the right players. It's about cooperation and togetherness." On taking direction from the new management, he replied, "When I came in, I also got direction. That's normal. The club dictates the style, so you have to get agreement about that. It is how I work now. So, how we want to play, that is given by the leaders of this club. They want to play proactive, dynamic, attacking football, which during my time here, we always tried to do." Al Nasser Al Ittihad to fight over Rafael Varan. Judging by how the season has gone so far, INEOS are planning a major squad overhaul in a bid to take Manchester United back to the top of English football. Apart from several behind-the-scenes changes with regards to the club's structure, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is also planning on a clear-out to ease FFP concerns, reduce a bloated wage bill, and help with incomings. The defense has looked shaky all throughout the campaign, and Rafael Varan whose current deal ends in June, could be on his way out. The Frenchman was said to be unhappy with the club's decision not to trigger a one-year contract extension, and the British petrochemical giants are not too impressed with the wages the player commands. The club are still open to a contract extension on much reduced terms, but the World Cup winner might not agree to take a substantial pay cut now that Saudi Arabian clubs are interested in his services. Al Nasser were prepared to pay an obscene amount to get their hands on the former Real Madrid superstar, and it seems Al Ittihad are prepared to join the race. Ben Jacobs, writing for 90 Minutes, claimed that both outfits are preparing a 3-year contract with centralized deal makers likely to determine where the United man finally lands up. Al Shabaab were also interested, but since they do not come under the PIF umbrella, there is very little chance of them winning the race. Current football director John Morteau had informed Al Ittihad that the defender was not close to agreeing a new deal, so a move is realistically on the cards. Everything will depend on Varan himself, whether he wants to take a pay cut and continue his Manchester adventure, or he plums for the money and heads off to join former teammate Cristiano Ronaldo and enjoy his final years in the game. Manchester United insiders concerned after Sir Jim Ratcliffe claims he is open to Mason Greenwood return. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's refusal to rule out Mason Greenwood's return at Manchester United has left club insiders concerned, according to INEOS. The Red Devils co-owner claimed on Wednesday that a fresh decision will be taken on the future of the 22-year-old after he was sent on loan to Getafe last summer in the aftermath of rape charges that were dropped. However, Man United insiders did not expect him to comment on the case, insisting he has opened up the incident again when many people expected United to part ways with Greenwood permanently this summer. The club faced backlash from several quarters after they suggested the striker could return to the first team last August after the charges against him were dropped. The last thing they need right now is more scrutiny going forward after they already carried out their own investigation and decided Greenwood leaving was for the best. Several insiders believe Ratcliffe does not understand the level of resistance to a return for the player, given that he does not live in England. Greenwood has bagged 5 goals and 5 assists in 21 La Liga games this season and is attracting interest from Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Despite initial criticism from some supporters, the Man United forward has been welcomed with open arms in the Spanish top flight. While a move to another top European league will unlikely attract much backlash, any attempt to get him to return to the Premier League will not be taken lightly by most English fans. Ratcliffe cannot afford to have a section of the Red Devil supporters against him this early into his tenure, and keeping Greenwood away from the Old Trafford club is the best option. Man United ready to attack for Gleison Bremmer signing. Manchester United are ready to attack for the signing of Juventus defender Gleison Bremmer this summer, according to Sport. The Red Devils are likely to pursue a marquee centre-back, with Rafael Varan touted to leave when his contract expires in June. Bremmer has been linked with United in recent weeks, and Sport claimed that the club are ready to attack for his signature. The publication added that the Red Devils' interest in him has become increasingly stronger in recent weeks. A definitive offer worth 60 to 70 million euros could be sent soon. The 26-year-old has already talked about his dream of playing in the Premier League. It's claimed that Bremmer would find it difficult to refuse United if they make an offer. Varan has been a quality performer for the club over the past 2.5 seasons, but his injury record has meant that he has missed several key games. His current €397,000 a week deal expires at the end of the season, and it has been decided by the hierarchy that they won't trigger a 12-month extension clause. The club are yet to open talks with the World Cup winner over a new deal. If they do so, he may have to accept a huge pay cut to put pen to paper on a new contract. As things stand, he looks likely to walk away on a free transfer. Bremmer could be seen as his successor, with his attributes suiting the demands of manager Erik Tanak. The Dutchman is eyeing a physically strong defender with good passing ability. Bremmer fits into both requirements and has been one of Serie A's best defenders. The former Torino man has had a passing accuracy of 87% this term. He has won 5.1 duels and 1.6 tackles per game, alongside 5.3 recoveries and 4 clearances. The big question is whether Sir Jim Ratcliffe will give the green light to a transfer, given Bremer will be 27 next month. We won't be surprised if United go for a younger centre-back. Bremmer would be a quality acquisition for the Red Devils, but there could be long-term planning this summer with the aim of building a younger squad for future success. Manchester United will start internal discussions by April or May for a new striker. Manchester United want to sign a new striker in the summer to help Rasmus Højlund, according to Italian transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. Anthony Martial is set to leave the Red Devils at the end of the season when his contract ends, and the club want to bolster the position with the recruitment of another number 9. However, while they are yet to identify which player they want, Man United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to strengthen the striking department, and it's something incoming sporting director Dan Ashworth is expected to focus on. Romano said on his YouTube channel the following: Man United next summer will bring in a new striker. The plan looks very clear. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is building a new structure, as we know. Dan Ashworth and other people working for the club in terms of board preparing for the summer transfer window, but for Manchester United, it's really important to say that they have not decided yet who is the striker they want to sign. They want to bring in one more to help Rasmus Højlund to keep performing. His potential is huge. They are very happy with him, but one more striker will have in the rotation for the manager and for the player. But they still don't have the idea of the player, if it's going to be a young one or they want to go with an experienced one, with Rasmus Højlund already being 21. So it's on Man United to decide what kind of player they want. This is going to be with the new director for sure. This is going to be a crucial step for the new project, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe has very clear ideas with all people next to him preparing for the summer window, and it's to bring in a new striker. Manchester United are really working on a new striker, but the name will be decided later this year around April-May. The internal discussions will take place, and we will know who is the striker Man United want for the summer transfer window. Manchester United are willing to pay €100 million release clause of Sporting Lisbon star striker Victor Gyökeres. Manchester United are ready to pay Sporting Lisbon striker Victor Gyökeres gigantic release clause, according to a new report. The Red Devils are in desperate needs of striking depth in the summer, as Rasmus Højlund has been left stranded as the club's only centre-forward option for most of the season. Antony Martial has spent a great deal of the season on the treatment table, and Marcus Rashford has been unable to reach anything like the levels of form he did last year. Højlund has scored in his last 6 Premier League games, but it was announced yesterday that he has been ruled out for 2 to 3 weeks of action because of injury. Due to United's need for a striker, Vigaches have reported that the club is seriously interested in Swedish striker Gyökeres. The 25-year-old is described as one of the revelations of European football this year, capturing the attention of all of Europe thanks to his impressive performance on the field. The Stockholm-born striker has been in red-hot form this year, scoring an amazing 29 goals in 32 matches for Sporting Lisbon. The Spanish outlet insists that the Sporting coach, Ruben Amorim, has been assured that the attacker will only be allowed to leave for his release clause of 100 million euros. Vigaches make the rather huge claim that this would be a price that United would be willing to pay to provide Erik Tanak with another signing to bolster his attack next year. Described as the first great opportunity of the player's career, the Swedish future could certainly lie away from Lisbon. United have been linked to numerous strikers of late, such as Callum Wilson and Antony, but perhaps the club are looking at bringing in a slightly younger option, such as the Swedish international. Erik Ten Hag may see it as a tempting proposition to pair Højlund with another Scandinavian up front and add another young, talented attacking player to the mix. Nonetheless, Vigač's claim that United are willing to meet the 100 million euros release clause is questionable considering the club's financial fair play issues and the necessity to sign a few players this summer to fill other various holes in the side. As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.